Survivor is back in one of the most mysterious and exotic locations ever.
For years, I've been thinking about China. We finally pulled it off.
And this time, it's all about the art of war.
Survivor is, in its own way, a battle, a war of sorts.
From the pro wrestling diva to the lunch lady, the grave digger, and the chicken farmer, we'll introduce you to the 16 new castaways who are ready to duke it out for the $1 million.
I'm a bear to competition.
I'm coming out number 1.
I'm definitely going to win.
Plus, we catch up with your favorite recent winners, explore this season's amazing tribal council, and reveal a sneak peek at a challenge you won't see anywhere else.
Survivor's ready. Go!
Get ready for a Survivor like you've never experienced before. This is Survivor China Preview.
It's really exciting.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole, and I managed to last for the 39 days to win Survivor Fiji. Now, for the next hour, we'll tell you all about the new season, from the contestants to the challenges to the twist. And this time around, it's all taking place in the first inland location since Guatemala.
Everybody who hears that we've gone to China are so excited.
Survivor picked China because if we stayed another season in the South Pacific, we were going to lose our minds.
With over 1 billion people, China is home to nearly 20% of the world's population. The exotic nation has been fascinating Westerners for centuries. And in modern times, this country remains as mysterious as ever.
Survivor is the first show to shoot an entire series here ever, and it took a lot of negotiating.
There's a mystery about China. It's like a closed society, such an ancient society.
If you're a fan of Survivor, you're going to see a show like we used to do, with a lot of culture and a lot of history. We are in rural, remote China. You know, I told some people we're going to remote China, and they say, it doesn't exist. It does. There's nobody here. The area that the survivors will be living in is called the Lake of 1,000 Islands, and it is a beautiful area. This season, we really stripped it back. For a long time, we've been adding elements like Exile Island and 20 people, and only 18 will make it. We decided, let's go back to the beginning. 16 people, tribal council every 3 days, no Exile Island, and let's try that again. One of the big themes in Chinese history is the art of war. The Art of War is a book that was written about war strategy. So we gave each tribe a copy of The Art of War in this really cool scroll form. And we said, you know, you should look through it. We still have the double immunity idol because that has really given us a lot of great drama. The hidden immunity idol is hidden in plain sight. So it's not buried anywhere. It's somewhere in your camp that you're seeing every day.
The tribe that wins the reward challenge do get to kidnap someone from the opposing tribe to come back to their camp. And that's the person who delivers a sealed note revealing where in that camp they're being brought to is hidden the immunity idol.
We're starting this season by having a ceremony at a Buddhist temple, a real Buddhist temple and a real Buddhist ceremony. The open's going to be pretty dramatic, and I think it affected some people.
At the start of the game, the contestants will also have to lose all their worldly possessions.
All the suitcases they brought with all their clothes they were hoping to wear, they leave behind, and whatever they had on is what they go into the game with. So we had some great costumes. This season, we have more likable people than we've had in a long time, and some good characters. I think a lot of people that you're going to root for and think, if they win, I'd be happy.
And there also might be a few villains in the mix as well.
I want to kill them sweetly and softly.
37-year-old former model Dave feels he knows what this game is all about.
Someone will eventually get stabbed in the back. Might even be me, who knows? Considering my age and how busy I am, trying to get into shape in a month and a half wasn't really a high priority. It was more important for me to read up on serious survival skills. I had a book that I read called How to Change Anybody. because it is up here too.
This self-described funny man has been sizing up the competition.
Dave Cruiser is a guy that could get on your nerves quickly. And I think Dave has to watch out that he doesn't irritate people by being too in their face.
I know it's going to be tough mentally and physically, but it's just an experience that I know I couldn't pass up.
Elementary school teacher Sharia says her experience dealing with kids will help her in China.
I think it gives me a good ability to connect with people, you know, and be able to talk with them on different levels. I think that's going to help me socially with people, you know. I'm a good listener, so I think that'll be good for people that think that they can trust me and talk to me.
And Sharia says she knows what she has to avoid as well.
I don't want to be like the black girl who gets on the show, you know, and has an attitude, because, I mean, when people see me, they do tend to think that I have an attitude, just because my facial expressions tell everything. So I'm definitely going to try to be more aware of what I'm giving off facially.
Sharia is a 4th grade teacher that I don't think had any idea what she was getting into. I think she'd probably just be delighted to go home early, and I think she will. Sorry, Sharia.
I actually tried out the last season, so I have been at this for a long time, and I am really grateful to be here.
Montana cowgirl Amanda is a huge fan of the show and feels her pageant experience will serve her well.
I was Miss Montana 2005, and after that I was Miss Earth 2006, and I competed in the Philippines at the Miss Earth pageant and came in top 8. So it was really fun. I think also, like beauty pageants, they give you a competitive edge with people. You have to be manipulative, you play mind games, you're with the same group of people for a long period of time. It's very similar to what we'll be doing.
But it's not all about looks with this leggy beauty. Amanda intends on going head-to-head with the guys in her tribe.
I'm playing to compete, and I cannot stand the girls that get on the show and think they're going to get by their looks. It does not work like that.
I think Amanda's somebody that people might look at and think, pretty girl, she won't last long. I wouldn't bet against Amanda. She could win this game.
I'd like to believe my poker face would be the best one here, yes. I'm a pro poker player. I've been a pro for about 6 years, playing cards exclusively for about 4.5, 5 years.
Jean Robert has played in many televised card games, including a stint as a bad boy of poker in the 2005 World Poker Tournament.
One of my strategies is trying to decide what I'm going to present myself as. Am I going to present myself as a card player, as a poker player to the rest of the group, or should I say I'm a youth pastor or come up with something else creative?
Whether honest or not about his profession, this 36-year-old from Vegas is ready to take on the high stakes of Survivor.
The first few days you're going to see me kind of being quiet, kind of being number 2, number 3 guy, kind of planning out my strategy, trying to think of who we want to pick off one by one, and then you'll see me making some serious moves mid-game.
He thinks he's got the game figured out because he's a poker player and Survivor is human poker, and he's going to do very well and manipulate people. I don't see it. I haven't seen it from the time I've met him. What would surprise me is if Jean Robert lasted till late in the game.
Later, it's your exclusive look at an actual challenge taking place this season. Plus,
I'm here to give them support in whatever way they need.
You can only see it here. Meet the one person who knows everything about the contestants in China. But up next, it's the man named Chicken, the kid named Frosty, and a couple of contestants who might have serious words about religion this season. Stick around. Survivor China Preview will be right back on TV Guide Network, America's TV headquarters. Welcome back to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole. Now, you've already met some of this season's colorful castaways. Now it's time to meet a few more, including the youngest contestant, known as Frosty, and the oldest, who goes by the name Chicken.
I grew up on a poultry farm, then we got into young farmers and FFA in the 7th and 8th grade, and it's just kind of a nickname. Then it's just followed me all my life.
He's a quintessential survivor. He's just a character.
I'm 47 years old. I think I'm the oldest of this crew.
Chicken's had to deal with a lot of hardships in his life.
My ex-wife, my first wife, was seeing my father, and I didn't know about it. Terrible. Basically, I found out about it. The first thing I done was told my mom. And the first thing she done, she kicked his ass out in the road.
And before coming to Survivor, this sheltered chicken farmer had never even traveled outside his home state of Virginia.
Whether they know it or not, when I landed here, I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. Everything else is just a plus.
At the other end of the age spectrum is Mike, known as Frosty. And at age 20, he's not only the youngest contestant in China, he's the youngest player ever.
I think being the youngest person out there is actually going to be an advantage for me because people are going to see me as the youngest person and not, feel so threatened by me.
What's really intriguing about him physically is he does parkour, which is a sport where you leap from wall to wall, or you scale up walls, you hop over cars.
The discipline of parkour, which is moving efficiently through any environment you're in, kind of like an obstacle course. But free running adds style and flair.
I think Frosty could last a while. If Frosty lasts until the individual part of the game, he could be a threat.
I think I'll be able to take care of myself. Hopefully, the more hard work I put into it, the nicer place I'll have to live. So that's my plan right now. Hopefully, I can bring a little bit of that ninja skill to the island.
If I go in there without expectations, then it's going to be a fresh and exciting experience for me. I'm a Christian radio host, and I'm also a mother of 4, and been married to my husband, Rod, for 18 years. And I also teach fitness classes on the side.
This 38-year-old South Carolina mom has been applying for Survivor since the 3rd season. And she says being away from her tight-knit family will be her biggest obstacle in the game.
That's the challenge for me. But I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to prove to myself that I can do something on my own. Because, I went from being the daughter to being the wife to being the mom. I've never done anything just like by myself. And so that's a huge challenge for me. And it's hard.
And as a devout Christian, Leslie feels there might be other struggles ahead as well.
Yeah, it's a big struggle as a Christian, just how do I do this? And as I pray about it, God says, trust me. And when he says, trust me, I have to do it.
I think Leslie will do well enough that she won't be first out.
I'm going to do really well. I just know it.
I want to come off as the kid who's smart and confident, but doesn't know everything.
Effervescent 22-year-old flight attendant Todd has been a Survivor superfan since the very first episode.
This is something I've wanted since I was 16 years old. So I've been a fan forever, and now that I have the chance to be out here playing this game, I am so excited. I can't even tell you. I'm a smaller person, and people underestimate me a lot, and I want to get out there and show people that, yeah, I can do this. I'm tough,
This openly gay Utah native was raised as a Mormon, and after coming out at age 19, he says he hasn't lost his faith.
I don't feel like everything that the church has taught me has made me who I am, because they disapprove of a lot of things that I am. But I do believe in God, and I am happy I was raised that way so that I can have what I feel spiritually close to me.
I think Todd's very good at knowing when to get out of the way, and you be the hero. And I'm learning from you, He'll make somebody a mentor. I expect Todd to be around for a while.
Later in the show, we'll introduce you to even more of the castaways of Survivor China. But up next...
Coming up, I'm going to give you a tour of Tribal Council for Survivor China. Stick around.
Welcome back to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole. Now, even though no survivor wants to go there, the show creates incredible looks for Tribal Council. Now, for the China season, the production crew really outdid themselves with the biggest, boldest Tribal Council set ever.
Okay, so we are at Tribal Council for Survivor China. This is the entryway for the survivors. They'll come past the Chinese lanterns. They'll walk up this area right here. And what they will see is, for my money, the coolest Tribal Council yet. Take a look. Come on in. This is where the survivors will sit at Tribal Council. We have some very cool torches this year, lots of symbols and influences from Chinese art. This was one of the biggest builds that we've done. It was 7 tons of steel, 6 tons of concrete. There's 2 tons of tile that are on all of the roofs of Tribal, and as a result, all of the framing of this had to be steel, so it is a massive structure. In fact, the Tribal Council that we built here is the tallest building anywhere around. So as a result, we had to put a lightning rod at the top and a lightning grid underneath in case lightning strikes. The kind of sad part of it is that when we're done, we tear it down. Since we are just a few hours away from our first tribal, I want to make sure the snuffer works. Got a pretty cool snuffer this year. It is a dragon because that's huge in Chinese art. But the most important thing is that the snuffer works. This one's gonna do just fine. Well, if you're a Survivor fan, then you know this area. This is the voting area where the survivors come up and cast their votes. This is kind of cool. This is the pen that they will use to write down the names, but the mold for this is actually an opium pipe. This is the bowl, this is the long shaft, and then this would have been the mouthpiece. We, of course, are using it for a very acceptable and functional pen to write with. Oh, here's a vote. John Henson, time for you to go. And then the last part of Tribal Council is once you've had your torch snuffed, you're out of the game, you walk down these steps, and it's just a lonely, cold, dark walk, which I don't mind making. See you later, TV Guide Network.
Now let's go from the place most survivors fear to the person we all love to talk to, show psychologist Dr. Liza Siegel.
I'm Dr. Liza Siegel, and I'm the show's psychologist.
The truth is, we have a team of psychologists led by Dr. Liza who do profiles on these people so in depth. They can tell us things about these guys that the survivors themselves don't know. And 90% of the time, it plays out on the show.
We do a full battery of psychological tests and a whole 1-hour interview. People say that at the end of that, we know them better than their friends and their family.
And when the torch is snuffed, Dr. Liza is on hand once again.
When they're voted off, I don't go talk to them, our producers don't go talk to them. Dr. Liza's there with, something to drink and your favorite snack, and she's just a safe person.
Dr. Liza feels that this season harkens back to the show's earlier days.
I think somehow we've gotten back to what the show was in the first 4 or 5 seasons, a very energetic, very lively cast, a lot of big personalities.
Dr. Liza also wrote a book about her experiences called Sweet Success.
I wrote a book about positive personality traits and how they contribute to people's success. I've had some wonderful, wonderful learning experiences. I've learned so much. It's been great.
Up next,
I am single. A romantic relationship on the island could happen.
There's also a few cute guys out here, so good to meet them.
could a showmance blossom among the hotties on the island? Plus, we've got your exclusive sneak peek at an actual challenge this season. There's much more Survivor China preview to come here on TV Guide Network, America's TV headquarters. Welcome back to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole, winner of Survivor Fiji. Now let's meet more of the contestants, including a Gwen Stefani lookalike who is easily the smallest player this season and possibly of all time.
I think I would be considered one of the underdogs to win here in this group.
Courtney, if she lasts, will be a star on the show because of her acerbic wit. She always has a comment, and it's usually biting and often funny. The flip side of that is if people don't get your sense of humor, it could be seen as rude and annoying.
And if people aren't affected by Courtney's mouth, they are bound to notice her size. This 26-year-old New York waitress just might be the most petite player ever.
I think it might be to an advantage. I mean, I don't eat much. You should have me on your team. You'll get more food. Maybe my size won't have as much to do with it as probably my mouth will get me in more trouble. I get pissed off pretty easily, and I think that is why they wanted me on the show. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the really b***y one. They'll be like the favorite one of the home viewers, and I'll be like, she's such a God, I hate her.
I've experienced a lot already, but I think it'll be a kickstart into another journey of some sort.
As a full-time musician, Nashville native Eric lives the life of a gypsy.
I travel around with a rock band called Flores. We travel around mostly the East Coast, but parts of the Midwest, playing colleges and clubs and everything in between.
Eric is a big question mark for me. He's certainly somebody that we loved in casting. He's kind of a romantic, he plays guitar, and he's got the curly hair, and I'm sure women will love him.
I am single. Romantic relationship on the island could happen. I'm gonna go in with an open mind. It could be, I could find the woman of my dreams. I could find a temporary relationship to help me in the game. So, I'm pretty open-minded and see what happens. So.
I'm from a small town. I'm kind of sheltered, so I'm kind of excited to get to meet new people and have different lives than I know, definitely have seen stuff I normally don't see back home. We've got tattoos and piercings and mohawks and mullets, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Southern Belle Jamie says everything about the game will be new territory for her.
I don't know about Jamie. I'm not sure she can live up to what she thinks she is capable of.
Well, there is one thing this blonde bombshell counts as a strength: flirting.
There's also a few cute guys out here, so good to meet them. Can't always go wrong. At least have something good to look at while I'm on the island. So that'll be fun. And I think I just get along better with boys. I'm not sure why, but so I'm kind of just flirty by nature, so I'm sure I will be out here as well. I definitely think people will be surprised with me. I think looking at me initially, they're gonna think, oh, she's blonde and she's Southern, so automatic dumb. But I don't think they'll ever think I'm athletic, so hopefully I can show them up on the courses and show them what I'm really made of.
The social aspect of the game is going to be much more difficult for me than the physical.
32-year-old surfing instructor Aaron says he wants to play the game as a good guy.
He's not in everybody's face. If Aaron lasts till the individual part of the game, he's pretty physically fit. You know, he could be a real threat.
And this Top Chef fan might bring an unexpected talent to the show: his culinary skills, which he thinks will score points with his tribe.
Definitely have kind of a caretaking, people-pleasing kind of relationship when I cook for people. You know, it makes me feel good, makes them feel good. So if I can contribute any part of that, it'll prove value for the group, and so I don't get kicked off.
Then there's former dancer PG, who's appeared in videos from Madonna and Janet Jackson, and this California girl already knows the role she'll play in China.
When I told anybody that I told that I was coming on here, they said, oh my God, you're gonna be the on the show. So definitely I gotta try to keep that in check a little bit, not let it out unless I think it'll be useful to me.
PG is not gonna be anybody's friend. She is toxic and caustic and delightful to watch because she is smart as can be. She knows how to play this game. I think it'd be very hard for PG to win this game because in the end, she's gonna irritate a lot of people.
I definitely know I'm probably not gonna be the one sitting in the background waiting for somebody to come up and tell me how to vote. But a lot of times, all it takes is just one piece of gossip and then everybody's against this person. But it's being able to control that, I think, is really being able to control who gets voted out of the game. I actually recognize two of the contestants. I think that's something that I can kind of save up and wait for the right time to use that. I can't wait.
Coming up.
In the beginning, people recognize you as the guy who won Survivor, and then after a few months, you pass right into, hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
We'll reveal what's new with some of your favorite recent winners. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole, winner of Survivor Fiji. Now, I can tell you, it is not easy to come out on top on this show. And each of the 16 new castaways wants to join the winner's circle, like myself. So TV Guide Network decided to go across the country and catch up with some of the most recent winners, starting with Survivor Palau champ Tom Westman in his new corporate digs in Manhattan.
I'm 6 months into a new career, and I'm a group benefits representative. I'm selling life and disability insurance for Hartford Insurance through a broker to the client. I had a relationship that went back to Hartford Insurance just post 9/11, where they had reached out and supported New York City Fire Department, and then following the Survivor win, my retirement from the fire department, they asked me if I'd be interested in coming to work for them, and it's turned out to be a good choice.
But there are those days where Tom misses his firefighting brothers.
I'm at peace with my choice leaving the fire department, but we'll always be connected to it and always feel close to the guys who are in the job and to what I used to do there.
This big winner is also still connected to his castmates from Palau.
Ian, who was my opponent right down to the end there, and Katie, who was the final two with me, Stephanie, who came over from the other tribe, Greg and Jen. I didn't expect to be coming out of that game with friendships, and it's just been a nice part of it.
By never giving up, Danny Boatwright managed to beat out the dominant tribe to win Survivor Guatemala. She's since returned to sports TV and done entertainment reporting for CelebTV.com, but her life is about to make the biggest change ever.
We're getting ready to plan a wedding. We have a wedding and a birth of a baby, and so we have a lot of life-changing experiences, probably more so than Survivor changed my life.
We caught up with Danny and her fiancé, Kansas City Chiefs center Casey Weigman, at a family cookout to find out about her post-Survivor experience.
It was funny because on Survivor, I thought that they portrayed me as being a little bit under the radar, which I wasn't under the radar, but I think I just wasn't in the middle of any controversy.
And as she gets ready to balance her career with motherhood, a second time as Survivor is not in Danny's future.
I'm not going to be Brett Favre and come back and try to win another championship. I'm one and done, I'm out of there. And then having a child now, there's no way I think I could be away for 39 days again. But I'll have fun watching other people live through it.
We headed to Santa Monica, California to find Survivor Panama Exile winner Aras and see what he's been up to since winning.
I've been studying lots and lots of yoga and teaching yoga, so that's been really wonderful, and exploring new ways of sharing that and getting deeper into my practice. Yoga for me is a means of studying and experiencing happiness, really. And so anytime you're studying and experiencing happiness, you're obviously going to have an enjoyable experience.
And how has winning affected Aras' dating life?
I'd say my dating life prior to Survivor was dysfunctional, and I'd say my dating life since Survivor is dysfunctional. I still have yet to figure out the opposite sex, but in due time, I'm sure it'll all work out.
What else can we expect to see from him in the future?
I'd say more growth. I'm looking for more growth and more smiles and helping people find their smile.
We also caught up with Survivor Cook Islands winner Yul Kwon as he returned to his hometown of Concord, California to be honored.
Concord has designated today, August 16th, as Yul Kwon Day, which kind of blew me away. I mean, it's a great honor, but it's an opportunity for me to raise awareness for issues I care about. I'm here trying to promote the Leukemia Lymphoma Society and also to show the community that I want to give back.
Along with various charity work, Yul has also teamed up with CNN to help broaden their audience.
Basically, I help produce and host a series on the Asian American community and different issues and challenges that we're struggling with. I hope that no matter what I do, I stay pretty grounded and I get to use the exposure that I have to doing something positive.
And he left us with some advice for the new castaways.
Trying to play with integrity and getting people to really be able to trust you because you're trustworthy actually help you in the game.
Now, as for me, I'm busy hosting a TV Guide Network special, but I've also been up to a few other things. I decided to go ahead and give Mark Burnett a run for his money, and I started my own TV film production company called A-Frame Studios. So look out for me again on TV. Later in the show, it's your exclusive first look at an actual challenge on Survivor China. But just ahead,
I'm definitely a tough girl. I'm not going to tap out by any means.
Compared to the rest contestants, I will be the strongest one.
Will the wrestling diva or the grave digger prevail? Or will the lunch lady beat them both? Meet more of the cast when Survivor China Preview returns. Welcome back to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole, winner of the most recent season in Fiji. Now it's time to introduce you to the last few contestants, one of whom will be familiar to you wrestling fans out there.
I am a WWE diva, and I work for World Wrestling Entertainment, and I definitely have the coolest job in the world. I absolutely love it. It's just a dream come true. It's a dream job. I'd always watched pro wrestling as a child. I've watched WWE with my brother and my dad, and never in a million years thought that I would actually end up working for WWE or wrestling for them, for that matter.
We have a wrestler from the WWE, Ashley, who is, when I saw her on day one, she was wearing fishnet stockings, huge black leather boots, some kind of a top which showed off her ample chest.
This 28-year-old one-time Playboy model says she'll have a hard time blending into the background.
Yeah, I get the impression that I've been recognized. I've been spotted. They got. If I do feel as though I'm bringing anything negative, I think it would be the misconception that I don't deserve to win because I'm already on TV. That has nothing to do with anything, I think. Just because I'm on a TV show, that means I don't deserve to win. You can look at it from that perspective.
She's all that and a bag of chips. She will not be able to hide from anybody. I can't wait to see if she can live up to her own hype.
I'm a lunch lady at the intermediate school. I love it. It's great. I know all the kids. I know all the kids' friends. I know all the kids' parents. I know everybody. It's awesome.
Denise, Nickname is the Lunch Lady, and the first thing you see about Denise, you have to acknowledge the hair because she has a mullet.
This 40-year-old mother of 3 from Massachusetts has been a Survivor fan for years.
Me and my daughters, we watch it all the time. It's kind of like a family night, you know, we all sit around and hang out and watch the show.
Though she's the oldest female contestant in Survivor China, Denise might have a secret weapon on her side, her knowledge of karate.
I opened my own school in January. I got 6 students right now, and I've been taking karate now about 8 years. I'm actually a 2nd degree black belt, and I'm going for my 3rd degree, hopefully, when I get back from here.
I think Denise will probably be made fun of in the beginning. I think it's just the way it goes. But if she can last 1 or 2 weeks, I really think the audience will pull for her.
And finally, meet James, a Louisiana muscle man ready to bury his competition.
They're on a burial service. I dig graves. It's a family tradition thing. I'm the 3rd generation grave digger, pretty much. I'm used to, I was born in. I've been digging graves literally since I was 10. It's just a part of life for me. I mean, I like the work. I'm free. I'm out there by myself doing work.
We've never had a guy as physically fit as James. Even though we have a lot of survivors who'd like to think they were, nobody like James.
And this ripped 30-year-old claims he gets fit through the family business.
I don't like working out. I don't work out. My family looks like this. You have to see my sister understand. But compared to the rest of the contestants, I will be the strongest one. I will be the most athletic. I will be the fastest one. That's pretty much my good strength. See, that's my whole gimmick right now because everybody's afraid of me for some reason. Don't I look inviting? Don't I look like you would want to talk to me?
I think James is going to really do well. I think he's going to be liked by his tribe and be a real quiet leader, and I'm already pulling for him.
This sly Southerner is also thinking beyond the $1 million prize. He's got a romance in mind.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I mean, I always keep my options open. I have 3 different types of women, and those 3 are here. The one with the tattoos, I love tattooed, crazy-looking girl. I love petite girls, and I have a thing about Asian girls that I've been dealing with for quite a while.
But James has his eye on another competitor for a very different reason.
The pretty dude is gonna kill me, and when you see him, you know who I'm talking about. He got pretty little curly hairs, and oh my God, if he's on my side, it's church. I'm done. I'm going home. There's no way I'm gonna be able to compete with him at the beginning. I'm done.
Coming up,
Survivor's ready. Go!
We'll reveal the details of this amazing and colorful challenge.
There's more Survivor China preview coming up on TV Guide Network, America's TV headquarters.
Welcome back to Survivor China Preview. I'm Earl Cole, winner of Survivor Fiji. Now we've got your exclusive look at the very first challenge of Survivor China and the people responsible for putting it all together, Survivor's art department.
A big part of this show is the look. When you see Survivor, you know it's Survivor.
That's where Survivor's renowned art department comes in.
China represents a really fresh look for us. We're working a lot with a lot of different scenery rather than the coconut trees and beaches you'd be used to. We're working with bamboo forests and pine forests and the lake environment. And we're learning a lot off the locals as far as how to work with bamboo that we should have learned many seasons ago. We're just trying to highlight really iconic Chinese cultural things that people would recognise. In our opening challenge, we're using the dragons from the Dragon Dance. We're using the Terracotta Warriors in quite a few challenges.
Expect to see some impressive pyrotechnics throughout the show.
One of the challenges at the moment involves picking up fireballs with chopsticks, putting into the trough, it rolls down, falls into a wok full of flash powder, which sets off a fuse, which then sets off fireworks.
And TV Guide Network was in China exclusively and caught one of the first challenges of season 15.
This challenge is called Dragon Dance. The concept of it came about because we're watching every movie ever made in China and all the kung fu movies, and the ceremonial dragons that they carry over their heads. We thought, wow, that would be a cool element to put in a challenge. The course is about the length of a football field and a half. Once they get to basically the halfway point, they have to cross a couple of bridges. The way they do this is the guy in the lead that's carrying the head will break away and then scale a couple of walls, pulling some pins, dropping some drawbridges. Then once they're past the drawbridges, they get a key, come back, release the rest of the tribe, get back on with the dragon, and race through the swamp. The first challenge, we always expect mayhem. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, are they going to rip the dragon in half? Are they somebody going to get dragged through the mud?
Here we go. It is the first challenge of Survivor China. For immunity and fire. Survivor's ready. Go!
Okay, well that's it for Survivor China Preview. To find out more about this season, log on to tvguide.com and also tune in to CBS Thursdays at 8/7 Central to see who joins the ranks of us lucky winners. I'm Earl Cole, Xie Xie, which means thank you in Chinese. Thanks for watching. See ya.